Throughout this semester, we have learned a great deal about the problems that have arisen from our contemporary way of life in the built environment. Many of these predicaments are so daunting that they seem nearly impossible to solve. However, what if I told you that there may be a way that many of our modern day problems could be solved, or at the very least, improved? For this project, I'll be discussing an idea which was once quite popular in American society but has since faded into obscurity, and discuss how the idea relates to the problems and themes discussed in this course, Henry George's idea of a single land value tax. As many of us are aware, there is a major problem with wealth inequality in the United States. According to Pew Research Center, in 1983, upper income families controlled 60% of the U.S. aggregate wealth. Today, they control 79%. At the same time, the amount of wealth controlled by both middle and lower income families has shrunk considerably. What many people don't realize, however, is that much of the wealth accumulated by these upper income families does not come from clever investments or from the direct income of these wealthy families. Rather, wealthy individuals tend to accumulate wealth through land ownership. As populations and standards of living increase, land becomes more valuable, as land is a fixed resource. Therefore, land ownership is an extremely reliable way to accumulate wealth, as the value of land is almost always increasing, especially in more populated areas. However, under our current economic system, the ownership of the land is all that matters. Even if you do not do anything to improve the land, it's a pretty safe bet that the land will increase in value, especially if it is in a strategic location. This has led to wealthy individuals buying out large swaths of land only to hold onto that land rather than using it for production. After all, why bother investing in the building when the land will do all the work? This is a particularly large problem in cities. Economist Henry George recognized this way back in the 1860s and developed an ingenious solution to this problem. Today, we call this solution Georgism. Think of all the taxes we currently pay as U.S. citizens: sales tax, income tax, corporation tax, etc. George devised a way in which we can do away with all of them. The solution is incredibly simple. Rather than taxing workers or corporations who stimulate the economy, George argued that we should simply tax the value of the land which people use. In George's system, the land itself is taxed instead of the property on top of it, and the value of the land can be changed depending on where the land is located. With a land value tax, both businesses and everyday citizens would be incentivized to utilize land efficiently, as those who are not utilizing their land will not make any money off of it, incentivizing them to either improve the value of their land or sell it to someone who will. This way, people will only be able to make money off of land that they actually help to improve. In this system, people who actually make the land valuable, like workers and business owners, reap the benefits of the wealth generated by their own work, rather than landowners who did none of the work to make the land valuable. This system would be particularly effective at solving the housing crisis, as people could no longer expect that the value of land would simply increase inevitably, and would therefore entice developers to build efficiently rather than expediently. In turn, this could make houses more affordable, as if landlords wanted to increase the rent of their house, they'd be admitting that the value of the land is increased, thereby increasing taxes on themselves. This could help end price fixing done by many landlords and make houses much more plentiful and affordable in areas where land is most valuable, like big cities. Okay, so how does this relate to the problems discussed in this class, though, such as climate change? Well, because the land value tax incentivizes efficient land use, it would also promote denser communities, which in turn promotes the development of smaller houses. As mentioned in the course, modern-day houses are significantly larger than houses in the past, even though family size is almost universally shrinking. Smaller houses are much more efficient both economically and environmentally, and on a widespread scale, they could dramatically reduce individual energy consumption. Perhaps most importantly for this course, a land value tax would disincentivize car ownership. Currently, parking lots occupy about 1/5 of all land in United States cities, which is a complete failure for the built environment. A land value tax would mean that anyone who owns a parking lot would not be making much money off of it, as urban land is quite expensive and parking lots don't generate much money. Coupled with denser, more integrated communities, urban sprawl would be reduced, making cars much less important, thereby helping the environment. Okay, this all sounds great. Why is this not being implemented right now? Well, there are a few major reasons why the United States disregarded Henry George's ideas. Firstly and most critically, a land value tax primarily hurts one group, land speculators, as it means they can no longer make money off unused property. In the United States, land speculators are almost exclusively wealthy individuals who often have lots of money and power in government. Since many wealthy individuals make much of their money off land ownership, they have and will continue to oppose a land value tax. To be fair, they would have a good reason to do so. Any implementation of a land value tax would likely be quite unfair to property owners who recently bought land, as the land would quickly become much less valuable than it would have been otherwise. However, one of the biggest barriers to the implementation of a land value tax is, stop me if you've heard this before, our current zoning laws. For a land value tax to be most effective and efficient, mixed-use developments are paramount, as they give people the opportunity to utilize the land most efficiently. Without a change in zoning laws, the full potential of a land value tax cannot be realized. Thank you all for watching this presentation.